Right everyone, today just a quick little video, quick little lesson on playing bass with a pick. Okay, so have a look at a few videos on YouTube, bass players using picks, especially user uploaded videos. Get a lot of nasty comments saying you're not playing bass right, blah blah blah, you should play with your fingers, whatever. Well, anyone who says that is being nasty for starters, and it's a bit stupid really. I mean, anyone who plays bass is saying that sort of thing should definitely consider giving up or just throwing it out the window, whatever. It's very narrow-minded and probably won't really get you anywhere. If you're meant to play rock music and you're using your fingers and you're just not playing right, you just don't sound good, they're going to use someone else for the job, someone else that actually sounds authentic. Okay, so what sort of genres are we going to apply playing bass with a pick to? Definitely punk, rock music, maybe a bit of pop, it's a bit more edgy. Definitely indie music, especially the British indie music. There are so many bands that have great bass players that are using picks. The Killers, Interpol, I could go on, really good. So there's two main aspects to pick playing. The sound is greatly changed. Why? Because, well, our pick, we can play bass a lot harder. Our pick doesn't feel any pain, not like our fingers. If you play too hard with our fingers, we get blisters, whatever. We get a slight bit of fret buzz, which comes through your amp. It sort of sounds dirty, it sounds nice. You know, if you crank the mids, crank the lows, drop back on the highs a little bit, you get a very nice rock sound. The second aspect of pick playing is it definitely changes your, say, choice of notes, choice of riffs, whatever you're playing. Possibly because we can play linear notes and sequences a lot faster than we usually could with our fingers. I mean, you can do it with your fingers, but again, it doesn't sound right, plus it's going to hurt a little bit. And playing fast with your fingers all the time is it's good practice, but you know, it's not gonna make you sound too, you know, rocky. So yeah, we're just going to have a look at a few little tips, okay? Right, so holding the pick. It's quite strange, this one, because it's different for everyone. It's a bit like handwriting, you know, people use, you know, handwriting with a pen. It's different for everyone, but it works for them. What works for me is if you hold the pick between your thumb, like there, and the side of your index finger on the other side of the pick. We get a nice tight grasp, and we don't want to drop it because that will be embarrassing if you drop it at a gig, won't it? These three fingers here, we're going to use these as kind of like a loose sort of muting device for our strings, because whilst we're playing one note, we don't want our other notes to be ringing at the same time, especially when we're recording, because that will sound horrible and you'll have the producer wondering what these strange blue notes are everywhere. So that's another important thing. So you've got two aspects. You've got the actual picking the notes and muting the rest of them, which is a combination of both hands really. If you can do most of the muting with this hand, it's good because it leaves you to fret as many notes as you can without having to worry too much, basically. Right, so here's our bass. Notice I'm using a Fender Jazz. Fender Jazz are notorious for sounding fantastic with picks. Most Fender instruments, well, okay, all of them are, especially the Fender P bass. That's going to sound great with a pick as well. You probably see a lot of, you know, Fender players using picks. So it's right because it sounds great. Like I said before, the rest of our fingers will be used for muting. So if you have a look here. That's my A string that I'm playing a note on, but you see all my other fingers are muting these strings. We've got no risk of getting that when we're playing something on the A string, basically. Same as the soft bit on the side of your hand here is going to mute the upper strings, like the E. Means you get a very clean, concise sound. It's going to sound really great, and you'll be able to do anything without having these horrible no's and you're playing. You don't want that. Notice that I'm not doing this. If you've ever seen Fall Out Boy and that wanker Pete Wentz or whatever his name is, he does that. God knows how he's getting away with it. I have no idea. But a good example of someone who's playing bass with a pick correctly. Have a look at Foo Fighters. Everyone knows the Foo Fighters. The bass player, I can't remember his name. He's very similar technique to what I'm doing, what a lot of great players do. You're muting everything with your 3 fingers that you're not using. One last thing, positioning of where you're going to play. If you play too far towards the bridge, you can get this thin sort of horrible sound. It's not going to sound cool at all. You definitely don't want to stray past this bridge pickup. I don't think I can think of any players that do, but for starters you're probably going to rip the pickup because the strings are so taut here. It's really going to have quite a high impact on you. Same, you don't want to go too far near the neck. It's way too floppy. The strings are very loose around this area. You're going to sound really floppy and it's going to choke the tone at your notes because, you know what I mean. Best thing to do is come right in between the middle of your 2 pickups. Because best of both worlds, really. Another thing, we want both of our pickups turned right on. You don't want to have just this neck pickup because you'll get a horrible thin sound. It sounds good if you're into your jacko and you're using your fingers, but otherwise, no, just stay away. Same as we don't particularly want to go on just on our neck pickup. It does sound nice, but then you kind of sound like a poor man's precision bass in my eyes, and maybe you just want to use the P bass because it's a little bit too thin sounding. Best thing to do is put them both on full whack, give the tone quite high so you get a nice cut through the mix, and yeah, away you go. So a few little examples of a little something to help you out. Try your circle of fifths, go up to your major scale, start on a C. Notice that I'm really relaxed, I'm not doing any of that bollocks. Try some octave jumps. Try not to be boring, add something musical to it so you don't bore the shit out of yourself. And then perhaps try some nice sort of riffs that maybe you know with your fingers. But then with a pick. That's a bit of an extreme case, but hopefully if you carry on practicing you'll be able to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope this helped. If it hasn't, well, sorry.